Welcome to my channel, High Vibe Astrology. This is Jennifer. And in this video, I'll be focusing on the Aries New Moon just after the sun's ingress into Aries, signifying the spring equinox and start of a brand new astrological year. So much of the astrology lately seems to scream new beginnings, and this chart is no different. And when I return with a video on Pluto and Mars as they change signs, there is a really interesting configuration when we combine those charts, overlay them, Mars over Pluto, that also really emphasizes new beginnings and like a cannon being shot forth into this new beginning. Actually, it looks a lot like a bow and arrow, and it is taking perfect aim at the new earth that we are all creating together. So, as is the case with all of my videos addressing the lunar cycles, I include affirmations and harmonic blends that follow the introduction, and you can listen to these at any time because the power of our words, along with the frequencies, is not restricted to any astrological cycle. So please feel free to come back and listen anytime. Before I do talk about this new cycle in Aries, I want to rewind slightly to discuss the last two videos I did on the Virgo full moon and Saturn's ingress into Pisces. I'm bringing it up now because it's becoming more and more clear that we can't separate endings from beginnings. They seem to happen simultaneously, and it really is a matter of our focus. Focus is fertilizer, and energy follows our thoughts. So it's important to be releasing whatever needs to go, but then quickly come back to focusing on the newness that is simultaneously being born as we let go of the old. Just like in Tarot, there is no birth card, there is only a death card. But that death card is signifying that we need to release what's old, what's dead and dying, so that we can make way for the new. Behind that death card, the sun is rising. And so beginnings and birth always follow any ending. So with the Virgo full moon and it being quickly followed by Saturn's ingress into Pisces, to me, these both signify the end of a 2,000-year-old Pisces paradigm. We are without a doubt transitioning from an old martyr-based system, a system of suffering or taking on suffering that required of us to look to someone or something outside of us in order to be saved, in order to be carried safely back to shore. As mutable water, Pisces emotions and empathic sensibilities change with every tide, every passing human emotion or wave of emotion that it encounters. And what I see in this is an analogy that goes back to the disciples when the stormy sea had them so frightened, and he reminded them that they have the God-given ability to calm the stormy sea, to command and calm the elements. And I believe that right now, this is the perfect reminder for us. As this Virgo full moon shines a light on what still needs to be released or reconciled and brought back into balance with regard to the stormy seas of the Piscean age. Soon after this full moon, Saturn moves into Pisces, and this feels quite definitively to me to be the final chapter in the age of Pisces. Saturn is the karmic closer of the zodiac. So we will have the next 2.5 years to fully comprehend and put an end to these lingering tendencies to give our spiritual autonomy and authority away to outside forces and instead claim our mastery within. So let's now look at what this Aries New Moon chart symbolizes for us as we move forward. at this Aries new moon ruled by Mars. Mars is actually forming a square to this new moon. So squares, again, serve to motivate us to awaken to conflicts that come from within. And as we address those places inside of us that are not in agreement or that are causing tension, we contribute that harmony and reconciliation to the greater world around us. So this tension between Mars and the Aries new moon is about us truly embodying our independence and forging a new path for ourselves that celebrates the I am presence. I mean, more than any other house, the house that Aries rules is that of identity, independence, and the I am principle. So this new moon with a square from Mars is still in Gemini, late degree Gemini. This is about communication and finding a voice. So the courage to give voice to the I am principle and identify that path and move forward with it in your life. Next, of course, we have the new moon conjunct Mercury, and Mercury is the ruler of that Mars in Gemini. So again, this is about communicating who we are as an independent being and having the courage to communicate that and express that, which gives inspiration to others to do the same. We also have Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces in a conjunction with this new moon. And it is pretty interesting that Neptune will be leaving Pisces about the same time that Saturn leaves Pisces. They're going to be going retrograde and in a dance of back and forth. But for all intents and purposes, the beginning of 2026 marks the end of both Saturn's and Neptune's transit of Pisces. And again, this emphasizes for me that we are indeed closing out the age of Pisces. And with Neptune just behind the Aries new moon, and the Aries new moon being at 0 degrees 49 minutes, again, endings and beginnings, so profoundly symbolic in the astrology that is underway right now. But this is about us allowing that divine essence to be embodied and to be given a voice of independence. So Neptune is informing how the I am presence is courageously expressing its presence in the world. There is a quincunx from Mercury to the South Node, and this is about processing memories and traumas from the past, represented by Scorpio South Node, and releasing, Mercury wants to process. It is the computer, how the brain receives and transmits frequencies. So we're in this odd angle, the quincunx from the South Node to Mercury. We have to find a way to blend the Aries nature, the I am presence, with healing and regeneration by being able to release all unforgiveness towards self and other people involved in those past traumas or memories that we hold. We also have a trine between Mars and Saturn, and this is the harmonious blending of energy and drive with the desire to build something long-lasting. So what we are building is a sustainable future, one step at a time. And the Mars energy is, still in late degree Gemini, is wanting to communicate the messages, perhaps the telepathic messages it receives from Saturn in Pisces, insofar as how to build step by step this new earth that we are all creating through creative imagination, vision, and understanding unity consciousness, Saturn in Pisces. We also have a square between Mars and Neptune. So, and it's interesting, all of these aspects that involve Mars. Mars is the ruler of this Aries new moon. So in its square to Neptune, this has to do with confusion that might bleed through to our desire to move forward. And this is Neptune bringing up any of the ego's need to control and allowing them to be completely dissolved and allow the ego's priorities to be directed instead by the divine presence. We also have a quincunx between Mars and Pluto, the two co-rulers of Scorpio. Plus, Pluto is making a square to the south node. Actually, Pluto is making a T-square to the nodes. So, in its square to the south node, I include a harmonic blend with Mars and Pluto. So this is really about the forces that have previously governed our ambition and drive. We will need to trust that Pluto is transforming them, bringing them to a higher octave. And again, this is about really releasing any unforgiveness towards self or others so that new life and a new pathway can be forged, can be brought forward out of the ashes of the old. We have a conjunction with Chiron and Jupiter, which is simply magnifying the healing opportunities to fully embody, possess, and give expression to the I Am presence. Saturn and Sedna are still in a square and will be for a while, but I have a new affirmation for those two planets as they combine. And this is really about the changing of the guards from an outer system to the inside universal principle that informs all that we do, say, and act upon. We have a trine from Pluto to Sedna, and if you entertain, as I do, the possibility that Sedna represents the third symbol of Scorpio, the eagle, then with the quincunx from Mars to Pluto, this is the awkwardness we're feeling between truly letting the ego die and be transformed. And Pluto brings up all of the unconscious, shadowy, possessive tendencies, or still, obsessing over a specific outcome. So while that is in an awkward phase of give and take and asking for our advanced consciousness to blend them, here we have the two higher octaves, potentially, of Scorpio, the Phoenix and the Eagle, and they are in trine with each other. They're supporting each other. So Sedna, I feel, it really represents while Pluto is the unconscious revelations that pop up and seem to pop up out of the blue. Of course, we know nothing ever does pop up out of the blue. Somehow we've contributed to its creation. Pluto is about projection. And I feel that Sedna is about consciously retracting that projection and really understanding that to transcend the extreme highs and lows and extreme polarities of light and shadow, we have to go to the heart center. That is the portal of infinite possibilities, of infinite miracles. And it is analogous to the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. We can't, we can ride the rim of the wheel, but then we're just like the soul in the old Piscean stormy sea. We have no way to calm it. It's only by going within, staying in the heart center, staying in the center of that wheel, that we can truly find the inner mastery that Saturn in Pisces is also, guiding us to do. So this is just another astrological analogy to letting go of the extreme emotional responses, coming back to center and loving, literally loving the shadow and pulling it into the heart center. Last but not least, in Pluto's square to the north node, because of course, it's forming a T-square, so it squares the south node and the north. And so Pluto and Venus combine here, transforming a love of power to the power of love, and understanding that while love may be underestimated, it can neither be destroyed nor diverted from its mission, and we will achieve the new earth together as each of us owns and embodies the divine I am within, takes ownership of that and nothing outside of us. And that way, nothing outside of us tries to take ownership of us either. So this is the law of reciprocity that we are moving into more and more. So please stay tuned for the affirmations and harmonies. And thank you again for liking this video, sharing this video, supporting my work, and joining this community. I so appreciate you, and I look forward to being with you again at the next update. Sun, New Moon, and Mars for the Aries New Moon and the square from Mars to the New Moon. As I celebrate the new astrological year, I am committed to fully embodying my divine I am presence. Sun, New Moon, and Mercury for the conjunction. As I embody the I Am presence and give voice to its revelations, I inspire that same freedom in others and respect each one's own divine expression. Sun, New Moon, and Neptune for the conjunction. The connection I feel with my divine I Am presence reveals itself with honesty, courage, and a transparency that inspires unity consciousness. Mercury with Pluto for the quincunx to the south node. Any memories or traumas from my past find complete healing and transformation as I release all unforgiveness towards myself and anyone involved. Mars with Saturn for the trine. My energy and drive is now directed by divine presence and builds a sustainable future, one step at a time. Mars with Neptune for the square. I have the power to calm the stormy seas created by my own and others' emotional reactions by remembering my I am presence and actively retracting any shadow projections. Mars with Pluto for the quincunx and Pluto's square to the south node. As the forces that governed my past still vie for my attention, I trust even more in divine providence to deliver new life out of the ashes of the old. Chiron with Jupiter for the conjunction. Magnificent healing is now available to all individuals who seek autonomy and who willingly grant that freedom to others. Saturn and Sedna for the square. There is an exciting changing of the guards taking place that honors all life as sacred and will replace the governing entities who fail to do the same. Pluto and Sedna for the trine. Our multidimensional natures are constantly receiving upgrades from Divine Source, which instantly transmutes ill-intended energy back into the light. Pluto with Venus for Pluto's square to the north node. While the power of love might be underestimated, it can neither be destroyed nor diverted from its mission to free humanity from any and all oppression.